In this video, we're going to go over DoorDash, one of the most popular food delivery apps for your side hustle, and really do a crash course for you so you can make the most money possible when driving on the platform. But hey, I want to welcome you to this live stream. This is the first time that you and I are meeting. My name is Mike. Let me know down below in the comments section where you're watching from. Today is going to be a massively value-added live stream for you, helping you make more money again, finding out, kind of decoding this DoorDash app. By the way, the #1 player in the food delivery space, and trying to figure out how to find the best orders on a DoorDash. But again, if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike, and I started in this gig economy, this side hustle back in 2015. Let me know if this is like you. I mean, I found myself sitting around, wasn't really doing anything, certainly wasn't making any money, and I wanted to start my side hustle. I was working the 9 to 5. Let me know, are you working the 9 to 5 now? Are you looking at doing these apps part-time or full-time? And I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the time, and I'm like, hey, I'm not doing anything. Let me start my side hustle. I heard of this Uber thing. I shortly added Lyft and then kind of went down the rabbit hole, I guess, experimenting with these apps. And I want to ask you a question here. When it comes to DoorDash, by the way, DoorDash is my #1 app. It's really the strongest app that I've seen here in the San Diego market, where I've since moved about 3 years ago. And I want to ask you this question. A simple question: how long have you been driving for DoorDash? Let me know down below in the live chat or the comments section. And let me know where you're joining from. Christine, I appreciate you being here. I see you in the live chat. So #1, the first thing you need to understand: how does DoorDash assign orders? And actually, let me know if you're new as well in the live chat or the comments section. I'm very curious how long you've been driving for DoorDash, because some of these things you will not know, especially if you're newer. Maybe you've been doing this for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. Some of these things I had to really dig and do some research on because I just didn't know. And the thing is there's still a good amount of unknowns, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So how does DoorDash assign orders? Simply put, right? Well, they only assign orders to you as a driver. They're only assigned after the restaurant has confirmed the order, #1. And I found this interesting, #2, they sent the order to the kitchen. So how many times have you been doing a pickup and you get to the restaurant and they say, we just got the order, right? We just got the order, guy. I'm sorry. And you're like, come on, right? What do you mean you just got the order? I'm on my way to pick up this food. I mean, how is that possible? Well, this is according to DoorDash directly. You're only assigned an order after the restaurant has sent the order to the kitchen, and then they're prompted to select a prep time. Now, if you've ever used DoorDash on the consumer end, I just used it a couple of days ago, it'll give you, of course, the ETA. Okay, when is my food gonna be ready? When is it gonna be delivered? And you'll find if there's delays. I ordered from a sushi place, right? And it says, such and such sushi place is experiencing whatever it says. They're getting busy. They asked for more time. So these restaurants, they have to go in to the DoorDash for Merchants app and select a prep time, as we can see here. And again, if they're delayed, they can add more prep time. Here's what it looks like. Have you ever seen this screen? Because I haven't seen this screen before. This is the DoorDash for Merchants app. This is what these restaurants are seeing. And I want to point out a few things here. So of course we have order number examples, the details of the order here, but look at the order status up top. It says, please confirm so we can assign a dasher. So this is happening in the background before you even get this order. So these restaurants, they have to go in here. Okay, hey, here's your order. We can see it's for Paige. And we got to go in here and click the button at the bottom. Confirm the order was sent to the kitchen. If you've ever seen these restaurants, whenever you go do a pickup, they sometimes have all of these iPads set up. They're all charging, and they got a Grubhub iPad, they got an Uber Eats iPad, they got a Postmates iPad, they got a DoorDash iPad. Yeah, there's like 4 iPads sitting there, right? So they'll get a request. Again, this all happens before you even get the order. and they're seeing a screen like this. Hey, Paige is placing an order for, let's see here, a chef salad, and then they're going to send that order to the kitchen. Then, and only then, is the order assigned to you as a driver. So how else, what else is considered here whenever they're assigning these orders? Well, number one, proximity. Proximity to what? To you. So if I'm sitting next to the restaurant, does it say the restaurant name? In DoorDash's example, it doesn't. So a popular restaurant that I sit next to in La Jolla is called Urban Plates. So if I'm sitting next to Urban Plates, that's proximity. I can't get any closer than parking next to the restaurant, right? Let me know, do you park next to the restaurant, or you just kind of chill in a plaza? What do you typically wait for orders? You can't get any closer than that as far as proximity. Well, what about tenure? Have you thought about that? Maybe it's a popular plaza, but I've been driving for DoorDash for 3 years. I have 1,400 deliveries. The driver sitting next to me or in the same parking lot has only been driving for 2 months. 14 deliveries. Does that have anything to do with it? Well, what about rating? Why do we have this rating system? Why do I have a 4.91, I think it is currently? And if you didn't know, the rating system is for your last 100 deliveries. I'll hear that, hey, Mike, my rating has gone down. I was doing so well and I had a 4.8 or whatever it was. I got a few bad ratings and now I'm down to a 4.6, right? So just so you know, it's in the last 100. So my strategy there, if you get some bad ratings, and you will get bad ratings, is you just, again, follow best practices. That's going to boost your rating over time. But does that have anything to do with who gets an order? Well, the answer is going to shock you, to be honest. Now, it kind of shocked me until I just accepted it, and this is going to probably shock you, but we're not sure. As drivers, we don't really know if any of that goes into who gets these orders. So if you're unsure, you're gonna have to make your own success. There is nothing in the DoorDash terms of service, across driver forums, over on our Discord, in the comments section, in our emails, there has never, at least from what I've seen, been a concrete layout of how DoorDash assigns orders. We've gotten more information from other niches. I mean, in the rideshare space, even with Uber and Lyft, we know that proximity has, or at least had, a lot to do with it. We know that ratings for Uber and Lyft had at least something to do with it. DoorDash is a little trickier. They don't tell us much. So if you don't know for sure, you're going to have to make your own success, and I'm going to show you how. Hey, Frederick, thanks for being here. It's all crystal clear. Thanks for being here. Jesse, I see you. Daniel, I see you in here. Daniel flexing that 4.99 driver rating. And Bavish, I see you in here, 5-star on DoorDash. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to understand the app better than others, right? If I'm investing, I'm going to make more money than others if I'm an expert in investing. If I know how to do it better than other people, I'm going to be better than other people. So this is why you're here. Let's understand this DoorDash app together. You're going to become an expert, and then you're going to outperform others. My goal for you is to be the top 15% of driver earners. So you got to understand a few things and how they differ. Red zones, peak pay, and hotspots. But more than that, let's do a deep dive here. You got to understand that not all are created equally. Just because market A is a red zone, which means, if it shows red on the app, as you can see here, that means I can use the Dash Now feature. I can go online at any time. But if market A is a red zone and market B and market C is a red zone, which one should you drive in? Well, let's say there is peak pay. What you're looking at right now, this screenshot has different examples of peak pay. $4 peak pay, it's gonna perform differently across different market segments. Understand that a $4 peak pay, it's gonna perform differently in market A, B, and C. So just because you see a $4 peak pay doesn't mean that you should schedule, that you should use the Dash Now feature in that market segment, because they're going to perform differently. Hey, have you ever thought about this? Understanding busy versus very busy scales. Oh, what is that? Look at this app here. If I asked you, what is the difference between the classifications of busy, you can see there on each market segment, it either says busy or, obviously, if it's busier, it says very busy, but moreover than that, there's 3 bars. So it'll say busy, then the first bar will be highlighted, and then the second bar. What does that mean? And is that even important? We're going to go over that today. Well, what is the best peak pay? And if you didn't know, peak pay is bonus pay. So it'll say, drive from this time to this time, and we will give you an extra, whatever it is, right? $5, $4.50, and $4. It's going to vary. $1, $2, whatever it is, right? That's based on algorithms of supply and demand. But which is the best to sign up for? Because they're pretty close together. Well, all of this comes back down to market segments. Well, what are market segments, Mike? Let's do a real world breakdown here. So I'm coming to you from San Diego, California, and this is an example of 2 different marketplaces on the DoorDash app. So what you're looking at, market segment A, or number 1, and then we have market segment number 2. So both are red zones because they're both highlighted. Now, if they weren't a red zone, it would be gray, indicating that you cannot use the Dash Now feature, which means that DoorDash has enough drivers there. Okay, I can use the Dash Now feature. Secondly, let's take a look here. So both market segments have peak pay bonuses. Number 1 has a $4.50 bonus, and obviously number 2 has a $5 bonus. Which one do you sign up for? Think about your marketplace. These are adjacent markets, let's say, and it doesn't have to be this much peak pay. You got to answer these questions. Well, which segment have you driven more? You can see number 1, the little blue icon there, that's indicating my current location. Okay. Have I driven market segment 1 more than market segment 2? That's not it though. That's not everything. Which segment is more dense? So think about your market segment 1. And again, I'm hoping that you're thinking about, competing segments in your marketplace right now. So which segment is more dense as far as restaurants? Number 1, is there a major strip of, I don't know, a mile or whatever it is? Is there a major strip of restaurants? Okay, I can kind of think of a place, yeah. Number 2, what does that look like? Well, number 2, I'll just speak to these specific marketplaces. Number 2, that is Claremont here in San Diego. And there is I believe it's some kind of, it's either a airport or a military base. I can't remember. So I know that that takes up a good amount of that marketplace. And there's not too much around that as far as plazas. So number 1 is more dense. Okay. Well, but what about the demographics of each segment versus number 1 and number 2? Is number 2 more rural? Is that your neighborhoods? Is that your mom and pop businesses? It's kind of chill out there. And then number 1, is that more into downtown? Or maybe that is downtown. Okay, but who tips more? Is number 1 more of an affluent area? Well, maybe, hey, number 2, yeah, it is a rural segment, but those are some big houses. Those are $400,000 houses, right? So maybe they're ordering bigger orders, maybe they're tipping more. Commuting miles. Again, I'm in number 1 right now. And again, this can be any market segment. But, okay, well, I would have to commute to market 2. It's 50 cents more on every single order because of that peak pay. but I'm in market one. I don't really want to commute, or do I? All things considered, right? This is why I'm going to answer all of these questions. Well, what's the max peak pay in your overall markets? Is $5 as high as it gets? Is $2 as high as it gets? And hey, let me come to you here, because I'm going to be real with you. I hear a lot that, hey, Mike, my marketplace doesn't get this crazy $5 peak pay. It's crazy. You guys get $6 peak pay, and it is crazy, and it's rare. It's just a testament of this marketplace. These apps, they're all algorithmic, okay? So it doesn't matter if your marketplace gets $1 peak pay or $2 peak pay. These questions, it still applies. Now, let's say, Mike, I rarely even get peak pay. So what you're going to do then is just compare demand levels. So it doesn't matter. So you're either going to compare $1 to $2 peak pay, or in this example, $4.50 to $5 peak pay, or you're going to compare, okay, who just pays me more? So these questions still make sense. It all comes down to who's gonna pay me more. So, okay, we went over our market segments, right? Market segments are the big chunks of your marketplace that are segments of your overall market. Now, if we take a market segment and break that down even further, it's broken down into this: hotspots. Hey, Daniel, Fred, thanks for being here. Misty, I see you guys in here. If you're getting value in this live stream, definitely let me know that you're getting value by dropping a like on this live stream. And hey, just so you guys know, there is limited time Prime Day deals going on right now as well on Amazon. I do want to show you this really quick here, because this is going on just for a limited time. So you can get deals like this, 40% off this Van True N2 Pro dash cam. If you're working in this gig economy, a dash cam is a must. I have this one. It is fantastic. And again, you're saving 80 bucks, 40% off on these deals that are expiring, I believe, tomorrow. And this is just one of the deals on Prime Day. And I left these linked down below in the description. Those are affiliate links, just so you know. But this and other deals as well are going on right now. So I saw that. I want to make sure I share that with you so you can take advantage of that. Going back to hotspots. So number one, what's the difference between commuting and commuting time and close enough? What do I mean by that? This is something, I feel like this is an advanced strategy that you would not know this if you're new. So look at the hotspots that you're looking at on the right. This is what it's going to look like, right? Hotspot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, again, your market segment broken down into busy zones. Okay. Do you need to commute to number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? Of course not. Well, I hope that answer is easy. No, you don't need to commute to any of these zones directly. You just gotta be close enough. So here's a expense saving measure for you. Christine asked, any external hard drives? Yes, the T5 from Samsung. It's in my backpack. I don't have it right now. I believe there might be a Prime Day sale for that as well. But again, the T5 SSD by Samsung is a great external hard drive. Thanks for asking, Christine. But these hotspots, you don't need to sit right on top of it. So the DoorDash app is going to highlight different hotspots. What does that mean? This is confusing in my opinion. Check this out. So why is number 1 highlighted? You're like, oh yeah, it is highlighted. Why is it red? Why is number 1 red? When I guess it's the closest. You can see in the app it says, what, near Outback Steakhouse, 2.9 miles. Is that why it's highlighted? Probably. Well, what if I don't want to target that hotspot? Here's what I found. In the past, probably 2 years ago on DoorDash, for whatever reason, and let me know in the live chat or the comment section if you see differently, but for whatever reason, I was able to change these hotspots. I could either click on number 5. Look where I'm at there. If I wanted to click on number 5, I could click on number 5. And that red highlight would change from number 1 to number 5, indicating that, I mean, obviously, again, that's the one I want to target. That's the one I want to navigate to. When I do that now, it doesn't change. The only thing that happens when you click on number 5, let's say, is it comes up with some navigation. It doesn't change the actual highlight, the icon. So in my opinion, it doesn't really matter as far as orders here. So I don't want you to worry that number 1 is highlighted. Oh, does that mean I'm only going to get orders from hotspot number 1? No, not from what I've seen. And that was confusing me a little bit because I'm like, well, no, I don't want to highlight hotspot number 1. I want to try to get orders from number 5. I haven't seen that highlight really matters. So again, you can't really change the hotspot in the app. It's going to just generally show you this. Hotspots that are generally nearby, I wouldn't worry about that. So hotspot trends and getting stacked orders. How does that work? Well, we mentioned that the close enough strategy. You don't need to be on top of a hotspot, you just need to be close enough. What does close enough mean? That varies on your marketplace. I think if you're about 5 minutes away, that's a decent amount of time away, right? That's, I mean, 5 minutes. I think that's close enough. But again, it's going to vary. Because, I mean, this even goes back to the not knowing the ambiguity of how DoorDash assigns orders. Well, Mike, if I'm 5 minutes away from a hotspot and drivers are sitting in the hotspot, aren't they going to get orders in front of me? I mean, honestly, maybe. I don't know, because we don't know. But from what I've seen, these strategies, including the close enough strategy, still work. So I wouldn't sweat it. But again, I would also do your research. So let's check out these hotspots. Number 5. Why would I go to number 5 and not number 4? Check that out. It's because of trends. It's because of I know that the plaza in number 5, not only does it look like a hair closer, but it's usually busier. Or again, let's go back to our criteria. Maybe the clientele that orders from those restaurants. Maybe there's higher end restaurants in number 5 versus number 4. Maybe the number 5 has a Chipotle. Maybe it has, I don't know, whatever, a Subway or something. That usually gives me more stacked orders. So maybe that's why I want to go to number 5. So, as we kind of bring this home here, what is the most important thing or things when deciding where to drive? This is going to help you get, again, as we bring this in here, this is going to help you get the best orders. The following, what is most important? This is the order of importance in my opinion. This is just my opinion. You know, don't come after me when saying, hey, Mike, you know, I think that this works better. And it might. I mean, it's your marketplace. You know, a lot of things vary. I'm just bringing my opinion to you. So, whenever I'm considering where to drive, this is the exact order that I consider criteria. Number 1, is there a Dash Now option? I mean, obviously, I need a Dash Now option to go online, obviously. Now, unless I'm scheduling, unless I'm a top dasher, I can't go online. So this strategy is for that reason. You know, we're not talking about scheduling right now. We're just talking about where am I going to drive? It's got to have a Dash Now, red zone, obviously. Number 2, it's not peak pay. Is that surprising? It's not peak pay. It is the marketplace and the trends. Why is that? Because a market segment may have a $6 peak pay, or whatever the max is in your market, a $4 peak pay. But if it's 20 minutes away, 25 minutes, you're stretching now. So it doesn't matter if there's a 5, 3, whatever peak pay if it's too far away, or if that market segment is typically dead or oversaturated. It doesn't matter. So that's why I consider marketplace first, and then I consider time of day. It's still not peak pay. I know you're thinking, like, well, what about the pay? When do you consider the pay? I consider time of day next, because again, if there was a $3 peak pay, I don't know, at what, 3 p.m., 2 p.m., why is there peak pay? Is there peak pay, which again is that bonus pay if you're new? Why is there a $3 peak pay at 2? Is it because it's busy, or is it because it's slow and DoorDash is trying to get drivers out there? Let me repeat that. Is there a peak pay because there's a lot of orders and it's busy, or is there peak pay because it's slow? And DoorDash has like no one in that segment, and they're trying to fill the slot with drivers that can take the orders that do trickle in. Again, I don't know. That's why you understand, number one, the marketplace and the trends first, and number two, looking at the time of day. Hey Fred, I see you in here. Movie Guy, thanks for being here. Emmanuel, Daniel, again, Edit by G, I see you guys in here. If you're getting value in this live stream, definitely drop me a like and make sure to take advantage of those Amazon Prime deals that expire tomorrow, unless they pull a fast one on us and extend it, which they might, but I don't think they do. Now I consider peak pay. So after all of this, show me the numbers. How much extra am I going to get paid? This is important for you because maybe your marketplace has just $1 or $2. Oklahoma, I see you. Midwest, Texas, Florida. Some of these marketplaces, they don't offer peak pay a lot. So when they do, consider all of this. Because maybe you don't even want to drive on the peak pay. Because maybe there's too many drivers that jump on the peak pay. So you kind of do the opposite, and maybe you'll sign up for a non-peak pay shift and make more money than those drivers. Got to put in some work here too. And then hotspots. So, okay, great. I'm going to go for this market segment at this time of day. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to go online. I'm going to use the Dash Now feature. Then, like we showed you, the hotspots. Well, great. I'm now in Mission Valley. I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to go online. Okay, well, where am I going to wait? I would commute to a hotspot if it's not too far away, and typically they're not. Typically hotspots are within minutes of each other. I would commute to a hotspot. It's not going to take a lot of time, because if you live in a residential zone, I would again get into the close enough range. You know what? Again, we talked about maybe 5 minutes away from a hotspot. I would drive into the close enough range to at least start the shift. And then lastly, the busy and very busy indicators that we talked about earlier. I gotta be real with you, I basically disregard that. And let me know if you do something different in the live chat or the comment section. I kind of disregard the busy and the very busy indicators. Now, it's kind of dark, but maybe you can see in the app there to the left, your DoorDash app will first go to a red zone. And then it will go to a darker red zone, and it will say busy. And then it'll go in even darker red zone, and it'll say very busy. And then you can see there may be peak pay, but it's not dark red. It's just like a light red, right? As long as there's peak pay, that's what I'm going for, and then I count on my own market research to get me orders. I don't really pay attention to busy, very busy indicators because, I mean, look at this example right here. I'm sitting in a busy zone, but there's no peak pay. Yet other market segments have peak pay, but they're not a busy zone. Again, it comes back to market knowledge, time of day that we talked about, trends that we talked about. Is that almost should I say it? Is it almost a bait peak pay, or is it a quote unquote real peak pay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to live in this live chat in the comments section of this video, because I do try to answer most every single question. Now, I also want to extend an invite to you to our Discord community. That is a live chat community. You can talk to other drivers in real time. Obviously, I hang out there as well. And there's different threads for the specific apps that you have questions on. So you don't gotta kind of filter through all the comments section and not really be sure if your question is going to get answered. So make sure to check the Discord community as well and join that. That's linked down below to get your questions answered. If you know someone that drives for these apps, if they're considering it, you got a buddy, what have you, hey, I need to make some extra money, especially in today's landscape, consider sharing the screen. One more tip for you. The links down below also contain my Amazon storefront. Make the smart decision, as thousands of other drivers have already done. Take advantage of that, and honestly, especially now with Amazon Prime Day deals, I'll actually update the links down below with more and more Prime deals. Some of these are flash deals, which means, I mean, obviously they're only lasting for like an hour or so. So I'm going to be in there all day, updating those links, posting on the community tab if I see stellar deals there. No, I mean, hey, if you don't need anything, don't get anything. That's fine. I'm not trying to overly sell you these products. What I'm trying to do is give you a heads up, because maybe you didn't know you could save a massive 40% on the Vantrue N2 Pro, which is a stellar dash cam. So I'm going to live here in the live chat in the comments section. Drop me a like if you got value in this live stream. And yeah, appreciate you watching. Go hustle. Appreciate you being here.